is going on, Ape Nation? I bet you're thinking to yourself right now, what in the heck is going on? Twice in one day we see him. 2 times in one day. Not just once, but twice. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Let me explain to you why this is going on, because I know you must be flabbergasted right now. That's right. Use that big word, and I know how to spell it, but don't make me, because, hey, it's not cool to spell it, right? So the reason that you're flabbergasted right now is because, well, I'm making 2 videos in one day. Again, all of a sudden. And the reason I'm making 2 videos in one day, again, all of a sudden, well, it's nothing special. It's just because it's Halloween. I thought I'd treat you rather than tricking you. Or would you rather me trick you? And when I say trick you, I mean, well, I could say something like, hey, me and Ken Griffin are pals. Or I could maybe say, hey, me and Ken Griffin are good old buds. But you ain't going to believe that. You're going to know that's a trick. So that's why I chose to treat you instead. And to treat you, I must give you 2 videos instead of 1 a day, because you deserve that. Because you've been following me, you've been watching all the videos, you've been liking all of them and leaving comments and doing all that cool stuff, right? By the way, if you haven't already, what the heck are you waiting for? You need to do it. Because it helps me. Because it forces the YouTube algorithm to do things it does not want to do, such as promote me, you know, all over YouTube. Yeah, go ahead, make that happen. Now, on a brighter note, guess what? I made 2 videos today. You're watching the second. Don't know if you saw the first. If you didn't catch the first, go ahead and watch that first, because, you know, you must watch them in chronological order. It's very important. It's imperative that you watch them in chronological order, okay? No, I'm just playing. You don't really have to. But here's the deal, okay? So I'm making the second video to tell you, man, I saw the movie. I saw the movie. What movie am I speaking of? Well, I could only be talking about one. What's one movie in your life that you've seen before that relates, well, me to you, you to me, us to one another? Well, that would be none other than Dumb Money. Great movie. I love it. Just had the opportunity to watch it the other day when I was able to raise enough capital to, you know, do so. I was able to raise enough capital to watch this movie called Dumb Money, okay? Didn't see it at AMC. Saw it somewhere else. I think it was like Riverdale Cinema 10 or something, because couldn't afford to watch it at AMC, man. You know, they're too expensive. Those bastards. So I watched it somewhere else. It wasn't a matinee, but hey, it was a fun time. I tell you, that's what it was. So when I watched this movie, let me give you like a brief synopsis. That way you don't have to go watch it. You can actually watch it when it comes out on Netflix pretty soon here. But what kind of happened in that movie, though, and I'm sure you've seen the trailers, but the trailers don't do it any justice. So I think the main actor in that movie, and don't get him confused with Vlad Tenev just because he has long hair, okay? His name is like Roaring Kitty or something. Yeah, I think he was like the man behind the whole GameStop move. Like he kept like preaching it like, hey, buy GameStop, GME, you know. And he was like a financial analyst or something like that, you know, for one of these brokers whose names we're not going to mention, right? Because it's not necessary for us to mention it, and, you know, like, they don't need any recognition, right? He was, I believe, a financial advisor. And against popular belief, well, he stood against it, at least. And he said, hey, buy GME. It's at a great value right now. And he got laughed at. People were like, what are you, an idiot? He met up with some of his buddies from like college, or who the hell knows how he knew them. His buddies, that's all that's important. Well, at least one of his buddies met him at a restaurant. He was buying cheap beer, and his buddy's like, what, you're drinking this piss? No, I'll buy you this other beer that's more expensive. And he was like, no. Well, that's how the movie starts off. And he's like, no, dude, I like cheap beer. And I like cheap stocks, and I like stocks that are like total bullshit, but I think they're going to explode. At least that's how his buddy was looking at him, or at the idea he had. He's like, what the heck, dude, you're buying GME, this stock that's like worthless? Well, it was worthless, still probably is, right? But it's not, because what had happened was he noticed that the stock was over shorted. The short interest was over 100%, which could only mean one thing if everybody else is missing it. Well, there's a heck of an opportunity there. Never happened before. Everybody was like, dude, you're a douchebag. You're a dummy. You're stupid for thinking it. But he had all the GME employees, okay, the GameStop employees that knew that they were working at a dying business, having to put up with crap from their bosses that were like total douchebags as well. He had them taking all the bull crap and still investing in this company until all of a sudden one day, you know, like $100 turned into like 10,000 for some people. $1,000 turned into like, you know, 100,000 for some people. Maybe more. I don't know. I haven't done the math. I will say this, it would give me a lot of pleasure to have owned the stock at that price or purchased it at that price and owned it and then watched it, you know, soar high as the freaking sky, higher than an eagle could fly, and make the amount of money that those people did, right, with GME. But what gives me pain, or would give me pain, and probably most of y'all folks pain, is actually, I realize it's kind of ironic. Probably did give a lot of y'all pain, right? At least a lot of stress. Is that y'all watched it soar and y'all watched it, like, crash. Those of you that didn't sell. The true apes, right? Those of you that still belong in the zoo. Y'all been released on good behavior or something. I don't know. Maybe y'all were endangered. Didn't turn out that way for all of us, right? You know, a lot of people became rich off of crumbs, right? They had some breadcrumbs and somehow it turned into like 10 loaves of bread. And those people were like, hey, we're going to keep on holding. We're going to keep on keeping on, man. Kind of like Joe Dirt in that one movie. I think it's called Joe Dirt. All of a sudden they lost everything. Now they're back to square two. Not square one, at least, you know. They made some profit, just not that much. They aren't where they used to be. You know, they had to move back to the trailer park, which is where I'm at right now, man, and I enjoy it there. It's actually a friendly neighborhood that I live in with all my buddies here, and they do a lot of stuff. Like, you know, we throw like an annual Halloween party and everything, and it's fun, okay? It's fun. It's a lot of fun. But that's what happens when you have Ken Griffin in your life ripping you off, and that's just what I wanted to remind you of when I said that I watched the movie, because Ken Griffin was in this movie, ironically. Don't know what happened, but hey, guess what? At least one good thing came out of this, the whole situation. If you're wondering what that is, okay, maybe a couple things. One, some of you, if you got in early enough, you still get to keep some of your, or got to keep some of your profits if you haven't sold out. Not much at this time, right, compared to where, you know, you were. But also, number two, hey, Gabriel Plotkin is gone. Those hedge funds closed their doors. It was because of us. So, hey, we at least took one bad guy down. How many more can we take down with us before it's all said and done? Well, I don't know, but, you know, the future is looking bright and hopeful. At least I'm hopeful of my future. And yours, if you continue to keep on going. But what I will say is I've learned a lot from this experience. I loved it. I love it still. Now, good thing I had other eggs in a different basket, right? But for some, if not all, y'all may not have been so fortunate. Still, the thing was bad enough to send me back to the trailer park with the rest of my family, and sometimes they're not nice to me, so I don't like being here, man, but at least my trailer's paid off. Actually, I live in a camper in the backwoods, but at least I enjoy it. Hope you guys do too. Let me remind you, it's Halloween, and the scariest demon of them all is Ken Griffin. Go watch that freaking movie if you haven't. I don't know if you want to watch it at AMC or if you can't afford to, but if you can't, wait till Netflix, you know, brings it out. Just want to tell you guys I watched the movie, give you a brief synopsis, because I thought it'd be fun, and I also wanted to post a second video today just to show you guys I'm serious about this whole YouTube business, right? So, yeah, thanks for listening. I'll be back.